Do you like beer?
I still like beer.
And sitting down?
Sit your little sexy ass down.
Then do we have an event for you? It's Tom and Dan's Sofa and Suds 2021. November 14th from 2 to 6 p.m. in the heart of beautiful downtown Sanford. Watch businesses from surrounding areas race couches to see who will be this year's reigning champ. Who will be the fastest? Who will bring home the coveted title of crowd favorite? Admission is free, but please no coolers or outside food and drink. VIP tickets just $49 with comp drinks, bathroom access, prime viewing area, and full access to pit row. You've never seen couches this fast. We've never seen couches this fast. Couches shouldn't be this fast. It's Tom and Dan's Sofa and Suds 2021. Brought to you by ABC Fine Wine and Spirits. Just call Mo.com and Secured Roofing and Restoration. All info at Facebook.com/Sofa and Suds.
On Zoom with us right now, he's going to be at the Improv, 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday.
Yes, it's the 2-2, and you can get your tickets at theimprovorlando.com. Easiest way to get them, and it's a great room. Ladies and gentlemen, we've never had him in here, and we still haven't had him in here. Ari Shaffir's on the line. How you doing, man?
I'm great. Thank you, guys. Bert was raving about you dudes.
We love Bert. Ask Bert why he won't reply to our messages anymore.
Yeah, he loves us so much, but he doesn't do our show
anymore. He got too rich and famous off his goddamn podcast.
Yeah, this guy's so big, and you said it best. I was listening to you on... I forget what show it was.
Skeptic Tank, right?
It might have been Skeptic Tank. You were like, how much do you need?
Right.
When is it enough, Bert? When are you
going to have some fun, Bert?
Yeah, when are you going to... He missed Skankfest. He missed all these things that you've been raving about, and then he says, oh, I'm sorry, I wanted to be there. Oh,
got too rich.
And he won't...
Yeah, I wanted to be there, but I'm in charge of my own scheduling, and I couldn't be there. What are you talking about?
and so he used to come in here, and you know the deal. He'd come in with a bottle of the tequila. We party.
Yeah.
He does the machine. We go to dinner.
That's a lot of work, though. He was doing a lot of goddamn work.
And then we thought
it ain't work for him. It's a passion.
Yeah. Well, we were like, this is our new best friend, and we're talking to him, and he would tweet with us. And then as soon as he got the bus, never again. Never again.
Okay, but you have to understand, he has access to barbecue all the time, so he's busy. He's busy using his fingers. It's tough to return text when you're full of just that sauce,
Ari, convince me to do ayahuasca.
Yes.
Yeah, let's go drugs.
Because I'm scared.
I want to.
I'm scared to fucking do it. And but every time when I hear people talk about it,
I've been told that it will change my persona completely, and that when I come out of the other side, I will be a different human being entirely.
Yeah, it's scary to me.
Yeah. What have you done? What drugs have you done? Mushrooms?
He's a pussy.
I've done mushrooms one time, and
only done weed.
And then I thought about how the Earth was created, and I stayed up all night thinking about how we're here and shit. And I liked it, but it was one of those things where I was like, okay, I just never did it again. I need a microdose. That's what everybody's telling me to do.
Yeah. What's your favorite drug, Ari?
What's in my hand, I guess. It's like I got dosed with acid at Skankfest, and everyone all night long they were all like, "Are you okay?" People were texting me, "Are you all right? Are you okay?" And I'm like, "Yeah, man, I'm Ari Shaffir. Have some fucking respect. Yeah, I'm okay.
Yeah,
it's just some acid.
Yeah,
relax.
This is kind of your thing, right? But like, are psychedelics? Is this a new? Has this been rolling the whole entire time, pun intended, or is this a new kind of a resurgence of these psychedelics right now?
Yeah, because of COVID, maybe people are like, just like, I got time.
Yeah, that's actually...
I don't have anything to do tomorrow. Why not?
No, because
you got to do ayahuasca. It's the best. It's like mushrooms times 10.
But
it'll take the scared won't matter after it starts taking you. You'll have no control. It'll just take you where it wants to take you.
Well, that's the problem, Ari, is that you're telling me scary shit. Like, you're not saying, like, you're just that scared. Like, what does that mean? It takes you where you want to take. Like, what if it takes me down a bad hole?
He's afraid of a bad trip.
Yeah.
You might, but like, honestly, a bad trip. So, like, mushroom trips. A bad trip is not as bad as sitting on a cross-country plane next to a 2-year-old.
Okay. All right.
You know what I mean? Like, bad trips could happen, but it ain't that bad. And also, bad trips are like 40 minutes of it, and the rest is just laughing and fun.
Oh, man. We are pussies.
It completely removes you from your ego, so you just look at yourself with, like, not from your own point of view. You just look at yourself from an outsider, but, like, you know you better than anybody. So it's like an outsider with full knowledge of who you are.
But it's not
And you just get to see
guaranteed
everything
positive,
clearly.
right? It's not guaranteed that I will see myself in a positive light. Like, let's say
No, unless you're 100% positive, you ain't going to see yourself as positive.
Yeah.
100%.
But
none of us are.
Will I break down though? Or is it purely from an observational point of view where I'm just kind of observing myself, or will I actively try to start changing myself in the moment?
Yeah, you will. And you'll be like, I got to start doing this. I got to start doing that. This person in my life, I didn't respect enough. I got to call them more. Like weird people you wouldn't think that would pop into your head.
And how much do you retain of this? Like when you're doing it, like when you come out
ayahuasca, all of it. So the person I was doing it with they're an artist. So they went back to their, like, whatever they put us in, like this, like shack. And to get a sketch pad. And I was like, oh, give me a piece of paper. And I just started writing down like whatever was throwing into my head. And one of them was like, oh, I still haven't done it actually, was tell Bo Burnham how good he is. I don't even know him. I met him twice. But like, I don't know why. Bo Burnham, Sean Patton, just different people. And I'm like, I don't know why, but it's just throwing me these names. But dude, first of all, the only real fear is the purging.
Yeah.
The ayahuasca makes you get rid of everything blocking you, so you just start throwing up, which that didn't bother me as much as what they said it might be, projectile diarrhea.
All right. There you go.
Yeah, that's the
See,
stuff
now,
I don't
Can you
want,
get
but,
can you get it without that?
Well, you don't like to vomit. This guy right here,
Oh, he's on a streak.
my
Can you
business
take
partner,
some-
he hasn't puked in like 13, 14 years. Like,
You'll have to puke.
And I love puking and I love diarrhea. Like, those are two of my favorite things because diarrhea, I have a lot of hemorrhoids. I have a ton of hemorrhoids.
Me too.
Okay, so diarrhea to me is easier to get past hemorrhoids than a solid movement. And I've been trying to tell you that. So I think maybe I'm designed for ayahuasca.
Diarrhea for someone with hemorrhoids is like ice cream for a bulimic.
Yeah.
It is no pain coming up.
It's easy.
It's just the best.
Yeah, easy. And it
Yeah.
tastes good coming out.
All right, but
Yeah.
do you still have to go to some goddamn jungle and some hut and with a bunch of strangers?
That's part of the charm,
Can I
right?
just do
We
it
got
in?
a church here in Orlando
What-
that does it.
what-
Yeah,
can
we have an ayahuasca
Sam's right.
church.
Yeah.
Well, can I do it in my living room? Do I have to be with other people? Like, I don't like being around like a bunch of strangers that
That's
are
part
tripping.
of the trip. Ari, you need people there, right?
You need a shaman there. I mean, you could probably do a one-on-one. It was just me and one other person. And they were also like, don't talk to that other person. You're on your own trip.
Yeah. I don't want the awkwardness of the shaman telling me something.
Well, you don't like being told anything.
You
You
He
need
doesn't tell you
automated.
shit. He just bangs the drum a little bit.
Yeah, keeps the metronome.
What about like if you
What
go
can
to
I
like
put
a
that?
GuideWell or a Quest Diagnostics? What if you just had an iPad that walks you through like a AI, like a
Oh.
digital shaman? That's going to be my new Xbox gamer tag,
Tom
by
is
the way.
not going to be able to use that.
That could be.
digital
They would throw
shaman.
like wax or honey or something into the fire to create all these shapes. You just start staring at the fire. I don't know if an iPad's going to do that, but it was sick. Bro.
I like that.
Tom, what are you looking for to do it? Why are you even interested?
Oh, well, because it's like
He wants grit. He
Well,
thinks that
no.
he's becoming soft.
Well, all right.
Heroin, Tom.
Well, no, I know what that feels like because I've taken pain pills, so I got a taste of them. Like, okay,
Yeah.
I get it. I get what
Ari,
opium feels like.
We're in Florida. We are pain pill land.
Yeah.
Still,
Country. Isn't that where you go from city to city to city, getting all the like refills?
Well, you
Going all the way up the
used
coast?
to. You used
oh,
to.
we used to have pain management clinics,
Yeah.
like on every corner, like a 7-Eleven.
There used to be a pain management clinic next to our gym, and as you were coming out, you could just walk by these people, and they would just shower you with pills.
but
Really?
Yeah, it was crazy.
But Ari, it's like when I hear someone like, or a lot of people, because every time I hear ayahuasca stories, everybody has a positive story about it and
Yeah.
like, is like endorsing it, right? And then it's the same thing with like kinks and sex. Like when people are real into something or like bondage or something, and they talk so highly about it, I'm like, well. I want to, like, what's so
You wanna
good about it? Like,
experience it,
I'm like,
yeah.
there's got to be good. Like, if so many people like it, then I'm missing out on something.
Yeah.
But then when I hear what you have to go through and stuff, is like, to me, I'm like, I don't know if I want to go that far. Like, I'm freaking out. Or like,
So like you hear about sex and you're like, wow, sex seems awesome, but then you're like, ew, stuff's gonna come out of your penis. Ew.
well, that's
you know what? You are the only guest that has ever nailed. He's nailing you, dude.
Yeah.
100%.
No.
He's only been with one
Tom,
lady.
there's no bad reviews of it. So
Yeah.
like any of that stuff is like it's an irrelevant like fear.
Yeah.
No one's ever told you that. It's like bringing weed on the plane. No one's ever got caught.
But Ari,
Oh my God, you say that.
But Ari, the good reviews are the bad reviews.
You say that.
the good reviews about it is like I started off projectile vomiting, then I was diarrhea.
Well, you got to get that out of the way.
And then the
You gotta
shaman,
get that out of the
okay, and then the shaman's hitting the drum. Then I see myself and all the bad things I've ever done, and who I need, what's really important in life. And then I'm sweating. I'm laying on the
You're
floor.
introspective, and you come out as a better person.
I'm around a bunch of strangers. My dick falls out like I'm sweating. Then I was like, I don't care who I am. I'm
Why'd your
tugging.
dick come out?
Wait a minute, nobody said
I'm tugging my
anything
butthole.
about-
I'm like, goddamn, this is
Even
awkward.
Ari didn't say that when you do ayahuasca that your dick falls out. I didn't see that on the guide.
That seems
When you're
voluntary.
when
That's what you're looking for, man. Then that's the clarity you'll find.
Do you see what he does?
Dick out all day.
you're
Ari-
rolling around in a robe, your dick falls out.
Ari, doing drugs with Tom. Every time we do drugs, your dick falls out. Like this guy, he's the Matt
I don't think
Lauer
it's
of
the
drugs.
All right. I also
Take a shot of whiskey, your dick falls out. Smoke a joint, dick falls out.
Yeah, he's just your Mr.
Weird.
Dick falls out.
here's
Put
another
salt
thing.
on your steak, your dick falls out.
Hey, wait a minute. I got it. We're just gonna go all over the place.
Okay.
Did you really get the Skankfest YouTube strike because you spit on a listener's dick?
Did I get? I mean, first of all, that's YouTube's rule. I don't know. Did they get a strike for that?
Yeah, they said they got a strike. I went there this morning doing research, and it said, sorry, we don't have a show, or you'll have to go someplace else to watch it because Ari Shaffir spit on one of our listeners' dicks. That's what it said. And I'm like, well, that's an odd thing to...
Mr. Tubes.
It wasn't my fault. The crowd was chanting "spit on his dick." Spit on his
gotta
dick.
do it.
So I mean, I'm only one man. What am I going to not spit on a dick when dozens of people are chanting "spit on his dick"?
Was it a loogie or like an old lady spit?
I stood up on a chair and it was a loogie, just a full
Gross.
gravity drop.
That the bully
Oh
was
yeah,
doing.
the bully. You gave him the bully.
What is that? What's the bully?
Well, the bully when you spit that
And you
lube
slurp
and you
it back
suck
up.
it back up before it hits their
The
face.
bully, yeah. When you're on top of a guy, like,
Yeah. Actually, you could start bullying people's dicks. Hear me out. You get on ayahuasca, and then you just stand over the person, and you bully them by you do a solid 2, a 1-2 yeek, a 1-2 yeek, and then finally you just give them the business, let it go.
dude, Tom, you should do ayahuasca. First of all, it was the coolest experience I've ever done in my life. It was so fucking real and jungle, and like this woman's wearing a fucking headdress with monkey skulls on it. And I can curse here, right?
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. So the studio, I'm like, oh, I might have fucked up.
We'll just edit it for radio, and it'll be just a huge beep tone, and then you'll hear like spitting.
I'll try to stay away.
It's fine.
But yeah, and then it's like she like squeezes some tobacco juice into your palm, and you just got to snort tobacco juice, and it gets you riled up immediately. And then it takes a while for the ayahuasca to kick in. Mostly you're just like laying there for about an hour. And then it's just a little bit of barfing. Wasn't even that much.
Now, where are you, Ari? Are you in the jungle?
This was in Ecuador. There's a lot of them in the Amazon, but they have them in homes too. They have like home versions where some guy will just get it and come to your house.
I don't want somebody to come to my house and make the interior of my home look like an Ecuador jungle.
Well,
and then is that what they do? Do they make it look like it, or like does the jungle help it, or is it?
But listen,
the jungle helps it for sure because he comes in. 1 second, Tom, because he comes in like he's leading us from the huts to the place, and he goes, "Stop for a second." He goes, "Listen, what do you hear?" And we're like, "I guess the river." He goes, "Yeah, what else?" I'm like, "I guess some insects." He goes, "Okay." As soon as the ayahuasca take, those are going to be like tenfold. They're just going to get super loud and like really guide your trip, and they really did. So, I mean, I would go to the jungle somewhere, but you can do it anywhere.
I think you got to go jungle. I think if you do it in your house, you're bitching out a little.
Now, tell me this. Did you pay for the higher priced good, you know what I'm saying? Because with everything, I imagine, like, you could do the ayahuasca excursion.
You want the girlfriend experience.
No, but I'm saying, like, did you get the rich guy ayahuasca experience or
the VIP ayahuasca ultimate experience?
My construction.
Better look at Shaman. This guy's a fat piece of shit.
My construction buddy went and like down to South America, did ayahuasca, but he got the bare bones, like you know,
that's Walmart.
Groupon
like, did you get the nice, where you're in a nicer hut?
Yeah. So here's the deal. This is one of those instances where the nice part will just be worse. You don't want a nice place. You want the real thing. So no, there's no bonus. It's $80, but you should get a recommendation from someone who's been there, because I did talk to people who were like, I did a bad one. It wasn't that good. And then we talked to someone who's like, oh, this guy was like, what? The guy who told us did it twice. He was the first guy I didn't like. The second guy was the guy. Nice. And then we went and found him.
So I've never talked to anybody that's ever done it more than once. Anytime we've ever interviewed anybody that's ever done ayahuasca, it's usually one trip, and then they scare me. The scary part for me, let's go to my scary part. Did you feel like after you had done it that you came out the other side as a completely different and altered Ari Shaffir?
Okay, so I've heard that a lot, that saying. And I've also heard like when you get LASIK eye surgery, it's the best thing you've ever done, which I'm also like, look, it's a good thing, LASIK eye surgery, but the best thing you've ever done, not to have to do this in the morning, not to have to just put on glasses, fuck off. No, you're not a completely different person, but the sense of clean, just inside clean, it was like, that's the only way I can describe it. It's just, you've just been scrubbed from the inside, and it's just like anything's possible. Nothing's bad. You have control of your life again. Any of the stuff that's gotten away from you, you can just like regain control. This is not funny at all. But like,
no, that's right. If people want to see super funny, and this is a great time to plug theimprovorlando.com. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday. Yeah. Get your tickets, sell the hell out of it, so we can set it up so Ari comes to Orlando. Then the 4 of us go to the ayahuasca church in Orlando, and we all do ayahuasca with Ari Shaffir. I mean, it's totally doable. And then we bring Bert along.
Bert needs it. Bert wants it. For sure. He's not allowed to do drugs with me anymore, but...
yeah, we heard about that. Yeah, we heard about that.
But still, maybe one day he'll just do it quietly with me. He wants to, but he's not allowed. Dude, Tom, it's such a clean feeling. So he says, like, I'm going to come get you at 6 a.m., you're going to take a cold shower, and then that's it, you're done. And then I just started writing for 3 days, just journaling all my thoughts and stuff before they left. So they told us about some other people that had done it. One was a hitman that came down there, a Sicario.
All right.
And he was like, it hit him what he was doing. And he just started beating the ground. And just like, why? What have I done? No, just screaming. And then he came out the next day. He goes, well, I'm done with that. I got to disappear. They won't let me leave. So I got to disappear and fake my own death.
Oh,
but like,
shit.
I can't ever do that again.
Quit the business.
Oh my God!
What if I do that with podcasting? I'm like, what am I doing? Yeah, and I'm like, you're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I'm out of the podcasting game. I'm not doing it anymore. And then I flip the switch on it. I'm like, I'm gonna become a hitman.
Ooh.
But
that's when the movie starts. Roll the theme.
But Ari, okay, we're inherently two different people. I hate awkward situations. So if I'm sitting in the hut and I'm freaking out, and I got the hitman freaking out that he's killed her, and he's like, "What?" I'm gonna be like, "Oh God, this is all." I gotta go outside.
Oh wait, that's a good question. Did that alter your trip at all? Like, yeah,
he wasn't there. The guy. No, there was a guy I call him a familiar. Some guy who was just like he loved this shaman, and so he was like, "Let me try to help get people over here." He's done it 19 times. So he was telling us stories of different people doing it. So that guy wasn't there. But it would be lame. Like, ever see AA meetings? I don't know if you guys are all any sober at all. But like when that one guy shares and it's crazy, he's like, I blew my dad and I didn't know. And then it was just to get some drug money. And then some other guy's like, I was late for a meeting.
Yeah, because there's varying degrees. Yeah.
Yeah. It would be sucky to get the shaman one. The Sicario guy.
Yeah. Like, I just want a middle-aged mom that wants an adventure.
She's like, you just want her to sit there and look around and just be like, well, that's nice. You don't want anything great.
Yeah. So here's another one he told us. There was this guy and this woman who they were dating for a long time, but there's one sticking point in the relationship. He did not want kids, and she did. And it kept bubbling up every 9, 10, 12 months. And they'd bury it. This is not a new story. This happens with lots of people.
That's horrifying. Why didn't... I'm sorry.
But then they just kept coming up, and they kept like, moving past it. And then they took ayahuasca, and they both realized, like, oh, we're just not right for each other. And it was such a clear moment, they said, that he goes, it's been 10 years. That guy is now friends with her kids. Like, she moved on, and it's all friendly, and like, it's just you get to see everything clearly, and then do with it what you will. It's tough though, because when you see it clearly, you got to decide.
Yeah, like I don't.
Maybe that's what I'm afraid of.
Yeah, I think that's what it really is.
What if you get done
I don't want to
and
see
you
it.
walk
I'm
out?
a bad person.
You walk out and you're just like, you know what? I like to watch people fuck my wife.
And I'm okay with it now.
Yeah, that's the only way I get hard. And then you're just like, and then that's your change.
That's like how good is being your true self? Maybe it's
How
something
true
you
do
don't
you want to be?
You go to your boss like, I'm shitting on your desk, dude. It's gonna happen every Thursday every summer. It's just gonna happen every Thursday all summer. Every summer.
It's authentic me. It's just got to happen.
Yeah.
So, Ari, speaking of another thing you have done that I want to do is I heard that you just decided to disappear for months on end without a smartphone and didn't tell anybody where you were going. So I fantasize about that too because
See, that scares the shit out of me.
that is I do feel like we've become attached to our phones and addicted to them, and it's way too messed up. So tell me about how you even got there.
Well, you guys all feel it, right?
Yeah.
You feel this weird connection to this thing. I don't know if you have kids, but do you have kids?
Yeah, we
They do.
Yeah,
I don't.
Yeah, I have a daughter, and Tom has 2 sons, and they're all about the age of 6.
Have you ever been parenting and then been on the thing while you're supposed to be giving your attention to your children?
Every day.
Yeah.
I mean,
it's real bad where I'm like, man, my kids are going to see their dad as the old school dad, the 50s dad that was always looking at the newspaper? It'll be that with the phone, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at a red light. Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah, it is. It is weird.
It's weird. We all have it. So it was just I felt it, and I was done with the special. I didn't have anything to do, so I just I called an Uber. I made a flight to Myanmar. I just looked at where the weather was the best in Southeast Asia for the next 2 weeks, and it was Myanmar. And I booked a flight a day or two before, and then I called an Uber to the airport. Put my as soon as I called it, threw my phone in my desk, and then went out to meet my Uber, and then figured it out when I got there. When I got to Myanmar,
Is there
terrifying?
Are you scared at all doing that, or is that just pure excitement?
100%. The second day, I was like, I'm going home. This was a terrible mistake. This was a horrible mistake. And then you just get over that fright. And after about a week, it was just the most freeing thing I've ever done. No responsibility. Go wherever you want, whenever you want. You think you're going to go north and west to some town where they have some some elephant reserve. And then somebody's like, hey, there's a tomato festival south and east. And you're like, I'll do that instead. And you just get on a bus and go the other way.
That's where we disagree.
So great.
I'm elephants over tomatoes all day.
Yeah. But it was just stayed in hostels where it was really just the camaraderie there. It took about a week to get over the lack of luxury, the crappy beds and stuff.
Sure.
But once you got used to it, a little blood on your sheets, who cares? It wasn't mine. You just get over it, and then it just becomes what's everybody doing? Everybody's so friendly and inviting and just trying new foods and just having no responsibility. You guys have what I'll call weirdo jobs, right? Where it's not a 9 to 5. It's a real creative, fun job. Most people don't get that. It's still you gotta be there at 10:45 and log in.
100%.
And just to not have any of it. I didn't know what it was I was getting until I came home, and then the flood of responsibility started shooting back in at me, and I was like, that was it. That and nice toilet paper.
Yeah.
Those the 2 things.
Well, it seems like with any addiction or you become reliant on something, that first couple days is your detox from your smartphone, right? So that nervousness that you're missing out or whatever, that's just a form of detox from that, right? And then once you get over that, then I imagine it's freaking awesome after that.
Yeah, what do they say? You get dopamine every time you get a like on Instagram.
Comments.
I'm kind of studying that now, and I may be butchering what this is called, but there's a thing called the hypnotic threshold, where it's the amount of dopamine that your body your phone is giving you those little dumps, right? And also alcohol, drugs, they're all giving you those little dumps. But if you're only relying on your phone and on drugs, then and I'm more pro drugs than I ever would be phone. But you reset your baseline, and you can never achieve that naturally. You just can't. It's impossible for your brain to be able to do it. It's like I'm reading a book, and they're telling me that your brain only has a certain amount of decisions you can make in one day before you get like decision fatigue. That's like a real thing.
Wow,
it's crazy.
Wow, and we all get that before noon now because you're on the phone, like responding to emails, responding to texts, and it's like damn.
Yeah, I woke up to an email like that, and that's just not healthy, man. Drugs, ayahuasca could be 100 times healthier than a phone.
Do you guys have an off season?
Not
nope.
No. Small business. No. All we do is podcast. This. Yeah. You've been in the podcasting world very early on. Rogan is 09. We're 09. You did Skeptic 11. Tank in 11. Yeah, Skeptic Tank was. I remember seeing you very early on when we would inch up.
It was a weird time.
Yeah, well, we would inch up in comedy, and we're not stand-up guys, but we'd inch up in comedy, and I think we hit 11 was like the highest we ever got. And then we would see like Rogan and you and Marin and people that have been in podcasting for a very long time. Maybe real quick, let's chat about that. Like, I remember the beef with you and Howard. We, our station, the station we're currently on, we have a radio show companion to all of our podcasts, but it's secondary. Really, our podcasting is our main vein.
Radio?
Yeah. Exactly. So, but we used to be Howard's station. Howard was the morning show, and then Tom and I worked for the show after that. And then when Howard left, or was pulled off the radio, we went to mornings. Yeah, that's when we moved in. So, what are your thoughts on podcasting?
It was so freeing. Stern should have embraced it. Stern should have been. He wasn't such a. He should have been
He's having to now, though.
That's when I was little.
He has to do it now, though. There's a little bit of crow eating because he's.
It's the ultimate Stern thing to do, right? There's it's his version of satellite radio. He's just too old school. I think he's just
old.
Yeah, he's too old.
He was like, you go to a small market, you take over that market. You go to somewhere in Connecticut, take over that market, and then slowly build a following there. And you're like, what the fuck are you talking about, old man? What? Just broadcast to America. I have listeners in Zimbabwe, you moron. You should embrace it. You should have been like, I wish I had, when I was going through my beef with the FCC, I wish I had podcasts. I could have said whatever I want and do whatever I want. That's what he should have said. He goes, these kids got it easy. That's what he should have said. But he's so that's what he's always done. That's what he's always done. He's always been like, you should be able to say whatever you want. And then O&A does something like, those guys go too far. But Don Imus goes too far.
Yeah.
Like, you fucking cunt. You two-faced cunt.
It sounded like classic Stern to me. And because I like him, maybe that's why it didn't bother me at all. But a lot of people got really mad. And I'm just like, yeah, he's just doing the thing. That's the thing he does.
Yeah, that's true, too. Yeah. I do like Old Stern. Old Stern was great.
It's what I grew up on. But everybody, including myself and you and everybody else, there's going to be a point where somebody, probably my daughter, looks at me and is like, shut up, you dumb old man. And I'm like, all right.
All right, me and Daniel still watch old Stern on YouTube and
Beetlejuice.
laugh about the old whack pack and the shit that he used to say and get away with. And it's funny that he doesn't seemingly get as much backlash or they don't replay those old clips and be like, oh my God, look what happened.
No, they tried. They tried on him once where he was in blackface or something, and he goes, and they uncovered it. He goes, "Oh, did you uncover this thing that I put on national television?"
Yeah.
What are you talking about, guys? I wasn't hiding it. It wasn't in my bedroom. Right. I put it out for the world. It was a different time. Shut up.
Yeah, and that's the difference too that people can't get over. Is there's a difference between you talking to your a sibling or something on a phone that was secretly recorded, and you saying a bunch of stuff and then entertainment. People don't.
And also, if you're going to blame
in on it,
if you're going to blame him for doing that, you also have to blame the TV station that put it on, everybody that was involved with it that allowed it. You know what I mean?
It's Find out who tuned in and laughed.
Right.
And let's get them. Let's get them and put them in shackles.
Ari, how are you wired? Because you're no stranger to internet criticism.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm wondering if you look at it, because I'm the type of person, I'm nowhere close to, I don't say anything that would get any backlash. If I did,
you talk before we started. You said rape was good.
Yeah,
if I did,
he has been pro rape for many years.
Ari, if I did though, I wouldn't even look at it. Even if someone's like, "Hey, everybody's saying these horrible stuff, they hate you here," I would never even look at it. I don't care about that. I'm not curious about it or whatever. So I'm wired to take criticism, but I don't never get it. But do you even look at the stuff? Are you curious?
Yeah, sometimes for sure I'll glance at it. A lot of comics love saying we never look, but we all look. Just a little bit here and there. But sometimes I'm like, ugh, I got to stay off that.
Yeah. I like the honesty too,
you.
man, because it's like it was funny to me. We were talking about you. Yeah, Tom's right. You're no stranger to controversy and stuff like that. And it's fascinating to me that I am so sensitive, like I'm an empath and I feel things heavy, man. I'm real sensitive. So I'm the exact opposite of Tom. So if something like that, like if I get an email and somebody just lights me up, man, it'll truly bum me out. Like it'll suck energy out of my brain, and I don't know how to turn that off.
Yeah, I think you got to take a little vacation from it. So this is what I was going to say anyway. It's like bank an extra podcast a day for like, I don't know, go for a month.
We talked about
just do 2 in a day. And then you have your time off, and then just get lost. Completely get lost. Don't check in. Because, here's the deal. Like, so I'm reading this book now, How to Do Nothing, and it's talking about how, like, when we got the ability to work from home, computers and emails and phones, we're like, sweet, I don't have to commute anymore. I can do this right from my home. It'll save me time. But then what happened pretty quickly is, like, there's never a time I don't have to work. So now I have to be checking emails at 9 p.m. when I should be chilling and just, hanging out with my chick, or my kid or my dog or whatever. And It's like, so there's never a time off. So that's why I'm like, that's why you leave the phone at home. Don't check in at all. Like, get your return flight or get your return flight later. You get enough money to spend the extra $100 on a last second flight. Just be gone. My manager at the time was like, I need to get in touch with you. I'm like, you can't. And she's like, that's not okay. I'm like, well, my mom's also not going to be able to get in touch with me. And she was like, oh, well, that makes me feel better.
So, Ari, but how do you get past? Because obviously you're a driven dude, right? You're successful. You come up through the comedy store.
Stuff, yeah.
I mean, you came up through like answering phones at the comedy store, working the door, like the traditional grind of it to get where you're at today, right? And with the grind of anything, it just takes a hard ass work. And in our society, we constantly hear about the Tom Brady's of the world, and the Bill Belichick, and this guy never sees his family. He works when he wakes up he goes to sleep every single day, no day off.
He died that way.
And then he's like, and that's how you become the best. And then we're taught that, and it's like, that's how you become the best. So you mentioned, like, I'm looking at, like, someone else is going to outwork me if I don't answer this email.
Okay, but I disagree. I think some of the things of working is doing nothing. Is taking time to, like, be completely decompressed and not have it, and just let your mind wander. You ever take a shit and then, like, 30 seconds in, you get bored, and so you take your phone out. Yeah. But if you get past that next 30 seconds without taking your phone out, then you start, like, imagining things. You'll think of good segments on your show, or you'll think of, like, funny things.
We don't do that. All I do is read. I read my wife's tampon box. I have to read.
Oh my God.
I read the same magazine. I read a shampoo bottle. I'll get up sometimes and walk with my pants around my ankles. There's shit
crab
ass.
Walk.
And I'll crab walk across. I'll grab a shampoo bottle, go back, sit down, read all the ingredients, see if they put any snarky.
Trail of blood.
You know what I hate is when they put snarkiness on the bottle, when they're like, if you're reading this, your hair must look beautiful. I'm like, fuck you. So I hate that.
I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying, Ari. Is like that's part of the work is letting your mind and not being constantly distracted by work is because
it's like crops. You got to like let them be fallow for a minute,
or like a recovery day.
All the nutrients will be gone.
It's like a recovery day.
Exactly. With working out, you can't work out every day. You got to do something else.
Yeah.
So recovery days are an actual day of working out. I'm taking a word for that. I haven't worked out since high school. But.
It's true, but it's hard to because with working out, you're like, I got to let my muscles relax and recover because that's good.
Well,
for
you
my
do that
muscles.
all the time. You just pull your dick out everywhere. He's always got a relaxed muscle.
But it's probably it is good for your brain to relax. But it's just we don't think like that.
And your
society.
voice, you're blowing your goddamn voice.
I know.
Now.
Yeah.
And you're, we got to do it though. Dude, so I didn't write. I was gone for 3.5 months that time, all over Southeast Asia, just having a great time. And people are like, did you write a lot of stuff? A lot of writing material? And I'm like, 0. I wrote like one joke about dogs having sex and getting stuck in each other. But nothing. And then I was like, that's weird though, because I'm a comic through and through. I'm like, why am I not writing this? Because I'm not going up and I'm not connected to any of it. But as soon as I got home, I just started flooding out material because it was just like rejuvenated. It was rested and ready to go. It's like you need to do it. It's so hard to do though. But once you do, bank some podcast episodes. That's the easiest way. We're in control of our own lives. So it's like
we've been doing that, and our goal.
We talked about that.
Our goal, actually, and we haven't talked about it, but our goal would be to take a full month off, right?
Yeah, in like summer 2022, we've been discussing like we could bank a bunch of shows and do quality shows and just release them and take a month off because, like you said, it would be better for us and better for all of us to reset and have the experiences you miss out on if you work all the time.
Right,
because
then you have things
nothing
to talk about too. Yeah,
but with my luck, I feel like we would plan it, and then right around the time we get to go do it, then my cancer comes, and I'm having to do my treatments during that time.
Well, that'll be your fun time.
Yeah.
Tom and Sam will be out in the Ecuadorian jungle and deal with cancer.
And then I'm getting these chemotherapies, and then I feel guilty every time I pull my phone out to look at it while I'm getting my chemo because I'm like, Ari told me to stay off my phone.
You got to. So what I had to do is I had to reset my passwords, all the passwords, Instagram, email, all of it. I just stomped. I email, change your password. I just stomped on the keyboard like that. I cut and pasted that, sent it to a friend, and I said, so I don't even know it. And I said, give me that when I'm home, but I'm not even taking your email address, so I can't access it.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because you want to, and then you have to. We're powerless. We're powerless against that. There's engineers trying to get us addicted. There's no chance we have. So you have to completely remove yourself from it.
Yeah,
But man, I'm telling you, if you do it, and I know it'll be hard, and the odds are so low. If you do it though, you will be that'll change you.
Yeah. I know. I'm going to do it. All right. I mean,
I'm going to do it too.
You talked me into it. That and I watched
the podcast.
Yeah.
Ask your listeners. Would they mind if you do
they would,
reports? You can have your life.
They're horrible people, Ari.
Yeah. They depend on us like drugs.
There's one norm.
The worst thing about our audience is how disfigured they are. They're
so bad.
They're so handicapped.
That's that Orlando swamp, man.
Yeah, it's gross.
There's stuff in there.
All right, one last question, and I'm curious how you
guys
feel.
Got big listenership in Vietnam. I don't know. We got leftover shit. Yeah.
So, Ari, you came up the I'll say the traditional route in what most comics that we talk to, which is the grind and working the door at the comedy store and just doing
our buddy
the small...
Carmen Morales is working the door at the comedy store now.
And
really,
yeah,
what a great they talk about the SNL camaraderie of that people. We're in this group, but I'm the door guys at the store. We all Bobby Lee, Kinnison, me, Joey Diaz, we all did it, and it's just we all are just friendly with each other.
It's crazy.
We know what life was like.
So,
it sucked and it was great.
Yeah, speaking of that, it probably does hard ass work. A lot of doing shit you didn't want to do, and the grind. That's what the grind is. And then you have a portion of I'll say new age social media comedians or whatever that can get popular and sell shows out.
Influencers, namely
influencers and things like that. Yeah. And we've talked about this a lot or whatever. And some of them have people talk shit and we'll see how long they last. Well, they're still going. So a lot of them are still going and still making money and stuff. Yep. So it's not really a fad, but there has to be a better way to do it and to hone your skills. And it seems like the way you've done it in the traditional way of doing that grind hones your comedic skills better than just getting it popular through social media and doing it that way. But I don't know. That could be an old man thing to say. I mean, maybe you can hone your skills.
Well, it depends. It depends what you're thinking of success. So Elton John was talking about once a long time ago about all these boy bands, back in the Backstreet Boy days and stuff. Yeah. And and he was they're fine, but they never had a bottle thrown at them in the middle of a set. They have no heart. They've just been written for. So it's they didn't go through that grind. So you didn't get backbone. So if you're talking about success being I have a draw, people will come see me, I can make money doing live performance. It's great, but me and Nate Bargatze talk about it. Not everybody wants the same stuff out of comedy as we do. And if you want to be really good, then you gotta do bad rooms. You can't perform for your audience. You can't perform for people who are already on board. It won't give you good work. You got to perform for people who are going to walk out on you angry, which I will get in Orlando. You think so? If I'm not getting at least 2 people walking out angry, I have not done my job.
You think so? Because
100%.
I feel if they're going to your show, they know, right?
Yeah.
All right. Some people don't know, or some people bring their stupid whatever partner with them, and they're like, "What is this?"
And it's Orlando,
really
so
saying you're happy about a school shooting? What?
Yeah, and it's Orlando, so sometimes you'll just get random tourists that go to comedy shows. So
Yeah, that's true.
That's
A
happened
random
quite a bit.
British tourist.
They go like, I'll go to a comedy on a Saturday. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
I wasn't the guy for you. Somebody should have warned you.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, he had a rainbow shirt on. It's all tiny. It looks so pretty and so happy. He's a good
He does
looking guy.
yoga.
Yeah, he's got nice eyebrows. He does yoga, and then he's just he's pro school shooting.
Is it always stereotypically the same type of person that walks out? I'm always curious
That's a good
about that.
question. Yeah.
It is a lot of, it's a drunk woman is a real, like, that's a real problem. They don't know how to, because I read this thing that when women drink, their testosterone goes up to a level of a man's.
That's
I
true.
believe that.
No, that's 100% true. You should see how big my wife's dick is. Hey.
But they're not used to testosterone, so they don't know how to handle it. So they're like, shut up! Why don't you shut up? They're used to that kind of testosterone. But a man, when he drinks, his feelings go up. And men aren't used to feelings. So then they start crying. They can't handle that.
That's funny. That is true. I never even thought about
I
that.
didn't
Yeah.
either.
That's why you
that
drink.
Dudes
You get to
cry
get a little
and girls get
That's right. Our
bitchy.
tits come bigger. It's like, yeah, we just hug each other. I love you, man, so much.
Has someone ever walked out like 10 minutes before the show ended? Like, I was wondering, like, I want to
made it
just
all
sit
the way.
through
I know the last joke.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for sure. Those are Jews. What they're trying to do is get their money back. But yeah, that's the comedy equivalent of like, I'll send this food back. Like, there's one bite left. What do you mean you're sending it back? It was too cold. Like, because I'd eaten it for an hour.
Ari, it's been a pleasure talking to you
So
today.
fun, man. Hey,
The Twitch chat does
Guys, I'm so glad Bert told me about you guys. He was like, those guys are awesome. You should look them up. And I was like, all right. I told the club to reach out.
Well,
But,
we
man,
appreciate
you guys
that.
are fun.
Because your manager reached out to us. That
Yes,
wasn't even
that's
Krista.
true.
And hey, please tell
She did
Bert
too,
thank
yeah.
you. We love Bert. Even though he won't talk to us anymore, we still consider, we still tell people that he's our friend. Because I'm going to
We
say
do.
that.
Listen.
I'm going to say it till I'm dead.
You should. The heart attack's under 3 years away, so enjoy Bert Kreischer while you can.
I do. I'm like, you still partying? Wow.
You know, I thought he stopped. I thought he
that
stopped.
guy's to the bone.
And then
He'll
COVID
never
happened, and then it was like, like I thought he had stopped.
I thought he'd get rich and get famous and then be like, start getting the personal trainer and the thing, you get thin and like get into.
ripped.
Now,
Yeah.
Tom did. Now, we've had
Accuberry.
Tom in multiple times. Here's a fun fact about Tom. Segura's the only person that's ever worn the Tom and Dan shirt that was gifted to him. Normally, the comedians, we give them the shirt and they go,
punt it in the
they
trash.
punt it in the trash.
He's worn it out.
Yeah,
he sweats a lot, so he probably went through his other shirt.
He wore it. And yeah, he was super nice about it, but nobody else has worn it. But my friend, thank you so much for the time. 2 shows Friday, 2 shows Saturday, the Improv Orlando. And hey, when you get back in town sometime, if you're in here, we'd love to have you in the studio and maybe do some drugs.
Oh, 1,000%.
Yeah,
let's do drugs on air, or right before air.
Drugs
And then-
on air? No, on air. Drugs.
Dude, let's do mushrooms next time I'm there.
All
We'll
right,
take,
mushroom time.
We'll meet
I'm
up
down.
beforehand.
All right.
Yeah, look at you guys. Not a moment of like, I don't know.
No.
Shrooms it is.
Like, it sounds
Hey,
sounds like a story to
when
me.
you're ex-radio guys who have done podcasts since 2009 and you have families, you do shrooms to get away from that.
That's right. That's
what you
right.
do.
That's where you live.
All
Yeah,
right, man.
Tom,
Well,
thank you so
enjoy
much, bud.
Orlando. We'll see you soon.
All right.
See you,
All
Ari.
right, man. Be good. That was cool, right?
Yeah, he's a cool dude.
Yeah, nice.
The Twitch chat did want you to ask the famous "What's your worst gig?"
Oh, I thought about that. Yeah, then I was like, I thought people were tired of that.
Well, that's kind of why we didn't, and we alluded to it a little. It's kind of why we didn't even get into like the Kobe thing. It's just like I don't even know if you need to, right?
Also, Ari seems like a type of comedian that it doesn't like. If you pay me to be here, I'll do it. It doesn't get awkward to him. Like, you know what I'm saying? He's like, immune to the awkwardness of standing in front of some sort of business crowd trying to do jokes at a dinner or a gala.
But here's the things I like to point out to
Don't care.
people because you'll get the people that'll be like, well, this guy's a piece of shit. Yeah, whatever. Mm-hmm. On time, ready to go, better than most comedians we ever have on the air. I just want to say, on the time, headphones, ready to go, Wi-Fi, and gave us an hour. Okay, that's great. Thank you. Appreciate it.
because of all the jokes and the stuff.
Well, people, because he's so caustic
controversial,
and he's controversial. Sometimes people want to go, "Oh, this guy, fuck."
I mean, like he said, like he'll have a joke about mass shootings, and people find that very insensitive, and they do get offended.
Yeah, and as long as he understands it, there you go. And he seems to be fully okay with it. So
yeah. It also is weird. It'll never not be weird to me when someone's on stage doing jokes and then they say something horrible for you to take it as like he meant it. It's so weird. Like, what do you think he meant it? He meant it to be shocking.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's the funny part. It's like he was able to get a reaction out of you. It's
and
like,
that's basically what he said about the Kobe tweet, too.
He did make a statement about it, but I didn't think we needed it. Look, if you want to read about that, you can read about that. I figured hey, thank you for bringing up ayahuasca. That was interesting, right?
Yeah. And
pretty damn interesting.
He got married at the Comedy Store, by the way, which I thought was funny. But then, I mean, that marriage didn't last, but I just thought it was interesting. Like,
that's you.
He just started texting his friends, like, "Hey, I'm getting married at the Comedy Store tomorrow. Come to come to my wedding."
See, I'd love to talk about that. Has he I've seen him on Rogan a bunch of times. I don't have time to listen to podcasts. I listen to your podcast. I don't have time. Like, we do so many podcasts, I don't have time to listen to them.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear about his first marriage and why that ended and all that.
Yeah,
I find the guy interesting.
Yeah.
I find him very interesting.
He was, like, super orthodox for a long time. He didn't get into comedy till he was way older.
Interesting.
Well, next time he comes to Orlando, we'll have him in the studio for sure.
Indeed, and maybe this will help us get Bert Kreischer back on the air. I think it will.
Yeah.
I think that'll get back to. I love Bert. Man, Bert always does us right. Always does us right.
Yeah.
All right, bye-bye.